workers that were getting ready to retire are getting a $20,000 bonus to go out early. So when you say short-term pain, it's a reward for a job well done.
If we do not take steps to recruit new anesthesiologists to Ontario and retain those currently practicing here, wait times will continue to lengthen and accessibility to healthcare will worsen.
That was February of last year. Anesthesiologists staged a job action to bring attention to shortages in their profession, and they warned it's only going to get worse. They're accused, though, of holding the health and welfare of Ontarians hostage. Edward Gordon, author of the 2010 Meltdown, my guest this week. And we have doctor shortages, nursing shortages we just talked about. How typical are these scenarios in your travels to document so many cases around the world?
We are facing probably one of the most catastrophic shortages of healthcare professionals across North America that has ever been documented. Mainly, we do not teach enough math and science in our schools, and we certainly are not encouraging enough young men and women to go into these careers. And many of these careers require not 4-year degrees, but 2-year degrees or 1-year certificates as entry level to get started. And we're talking about careers now, not jobs. Mm-hmm. And just as the baby boomers are going to need more and more care, what we're finding out is we won't even be able to replace the nurses, the anesthesiologists, the doctors, the dentists that are retiring. So what are we going to do about it? Well, we could sit back and have severe rationing, because that's what's going to come.
Wait times, long wait times.
Very long times, and driving up costs terrifically in healthcare. Or we can do what some other countries have started to do, and that is increase math and science education for all children. So, and begin coaching children when they're in first grade, and the parents of first grade children.
Well, parents have to keep up with the math their kids are learning too. You've got an interesting quote here in the book saying that banks across Canada now provide remedial math training to employees, many of whom have MBAs. Are we learning the wrong kind of math? Are we not sticking it out? What's going on? What's the math bugaboo?
Well, some people believe you don't need to know how to use the times tables. You can just use a computer.
There you go. You click on to your internet and it does the
thinking for you. Click for brains. But the truth really is that computers are stupid. They only give you answers. They cannot do the thinking. They do not have the creativity. That's right, the combinational logic to put television shows together or to figure out how to do a surgery, all right? So the issue, again, comes down to a good liberal arts education for every child in Canada, for every child in Halton, plus career development in K-12, in elementary and secondary, and then everyone taking a post-secondary component. And parents understanding what the careers are today, what they'll be 5 and 10 years from now, and having that information available to them through their local schools.
So who makes those decisions? Who decides the kind of courses that should be taught? And who's going to tell the parents, well, you've got to make sure your child knows A, B, or C?
Well, either a local community makes that a priority and are going to attract the necessary technical, well-educated people to keep their service industries going, besides attracting new businesses, new technologies to keep the standard of living going up, or they will atrophy and services will deteriorate. Why is it in Japan every child in high school takes calculus in senior year? The Japanese are smarter than North Americans. Is that the reason? I don't think so. I think it's a priority. So they put $80,000 a year math and science teachers in their schools. Why do they do that? Because they understand that unless they have well-educated people, Japan will have nothing. What natural resources does Japan have compared to Canada and your vast resources, or the United States? They have nothing. They have only one thing, their people. For too long, we have been complacent, and we undervalue our human capital. Whether CEOs of big companies, small businesses, even parents, The most precious commodity we have are our children and people who work with us in all kinds of businesses. But their knowledge is a renewable resource from generation to generation, and even their jobs day to day are changing because of the onrush of technology.
And yet, we need our children to be better educated. However, the dropout rate is probably as high now as it's ever been, except in South Korea. You've documented what a 95% graduation rate.
Well, just
in your
think,
travels there.
in 1950, North Americans had the highest graduation rates from high school. The baby boomers, 87% graduated from high school. Now, the next generation, in urban areas of North America, the graduation rates can be